Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, we got a barn burner tonight in Nashville. 2 referees in that main event. The Tennessee Volunteers against Flash Flanagan, Wolfie D. Recon from the Truth Commission. You seen him earlier. He came out here, jumped the Colorado kid from behind. Well, that match will be tonight in Nashville. What do you want? Bill Behrens, the illustrious syndicator. You've caused more trouble in the last week. I tell you, with my wrestling fans, I'm conducting a segment here. I want to tell everybody about wrestling at the Music City Mix Factory, MCW Wrestling, every Tuesday night downtown. I tell you what, most famous place downtown, the Mix Factory, and we're going to be mixing it up every Tuesday night. MCW Wrestling right down there.
Well, and that's wonderful. But first of all, I'm listening earlier, and you're saying the WWF is the syndicator for our show. They're not the syndicator, they're the distributor. I'm the syndicator. I get the work done here, not the WWF. They simply do what I ask them to do under a contract I have with them.
That's a technicality. By the way, does the WWF pay you money?
Yes, the WWF pays me.
Why don't I see any of that?
Well, we have operating expenses out of the other office. There's no need for that. Now, first of all, you're talking about money. There are 35 wrestlers backstage, 4 of them from the World Wrestling Federation. These people are expensive. I don't see any reason for that. Do you know that there are wrestlers right now in Memphis working for $15 to $20 a night that would come here anytime we want?
They'll stop that. I try to give the fans their money's worth when they buy that $8 ticket. And I think it's time we expand the crew from 14 to 20. That's why I'm bringing in new wrestlers. And we don't need to be doing this public display.
No. Look, one of these kids back here, you've got some punk kid, weighs maybe 135 pounds back there, named Shannon Moore, that you brought in from North Carolina. You brought him over here supposedly because he's going to be popular with these people here. The kid shouldn't even be in a ring here. He can't be in there with the men that work in this.
Let me tell you something. One of the most legendary wrestlers ever in this area, superstar Bill Dundee, weighed way under 200 pounds, and he's a legend in this area. And I'm not going to discriminate against some guy, and he don't weigh 135 pounds. He weighs 170, and the fans can judge if he gets a job here or not. Not you. You have nothing to do with the wrestling business. You have no credentials in wrestling except calling a bunch of stations throwing on a TV show. Anybody can do that. You come up here and try to run this thing.
Look, I'm sorry, Bill Dundee's a midget, his kid's a midget, this kid's a midget, and they shouldn't be in the ring. There's a place for midgets, and it's not here.
You're out here embarrassing yourself, Bill. Now knock it off. You need to go back to Atlanta. I don't know why you would come up here for the TV taping. What are you going to complain about now?
Well, first of all, we've had some of the guys from Georgia up here. They're not being given the ample amount of time because there's the Shane Eden, Colorado kid. You bring this kid Shannon Moore in. These are supposedly people these fans are going to...
That's what this is about. You're Georgia stars.
What about the Georgia champion, Billy Black? Isn't he going to get a chance here?
And fans at home, have you ever heard of Billy Black? No. He may be famous in Atlanta, but this is Tennessee.
Oh, famous in Atlanta. Famous from All Japan Wrestling. The man has been all over the world, and you're talking about people that haven't been out of their backyard.
Colorado kids, Shane Eaton, the Tennessee Volunteers, they're drawing big crowds every Saturday night. Now we're back at the Mix Factory. Hey, here he is. Girls, what did I tell you? See you later. Hey, you want to welcome him here? He's got a bad attitude. Don't listen to him. Girls, here he is. I've been telling you about him. Shannon Moore from North Carolina. Welcome to MCW.
Thank you. I just want to say what a great place, Tennessee. It's so great to be here. I want to thank you for bringing me here, first of all. It's a great opportunity to be here in Music City, and the people here is just so awesome, man. I mean, they're great.
Well, I appreciate that, Shannon. And let me tell you something. You're going in the ring now against Willow The Wisp. Comes very highly regarded also. But 181 stations nationwide are fixing to see you. And give it all you got tonight, partner.
Great. I'm going to give it my best in the ring tonight.
There you go. Shannon Moore, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to ringside and Michael St. John.
Thank you very much, Bert Prentice, and here we go with Willow the Wisp against young Shannon Moore. And Alan, this is my first opportunity to see both of these light heavyweights, and this should be quite a match.
This is going to be an incredible match. Fans, you have no idea what you're about to see as Willow the Wisp just took a header out on the floor. This Shannon Moore has been billed as the savior of light heavyweight wrestling in the United States. He hails from North Carolina. He's held several light heavyweight titles in NWA member organizations and in other organizations as well. And his opponent, Willow the Wisp, is no slouch himself. Recently competed a tour of Japan where he won the UWA middleweight title from Aikudo Hidaka.
That's quite a history lesson right there, and I sure am glad you can pronounce those names because I can't. And Shannon Moore, I've got to say, this is a good-looking young man. He's built well, he's packaged well, and look at that drop kick from a standing position, and Willow the Wisp is out across the way.
Willow the Wisp was doing a little dance, and Shannon Moore was concentrating on wrestling, and now the crowd is getting behind him.
You know, Bert Prentice, I think, brought up a very good point, and looking at Shannon Moore, I remember I was very young when Bill Dundee first came to the South from Australia, and he was about this size, maybe a little smaller, and he became one of the most prolific professional wrestlers that the sport has ever seen, and not only that, had to be one of the most popular wrestlers in the history of the game. Look at that move. Shannon Moore holding on, a little test of strength with Willow the Wisp. They're going to do it again. He's going to try to bring Willow over, up and over. Nice move by Shannon. Boy, look at this. Looks like a little Japanese style in there.
Great move by Shannon Moore, going for the cover.
Got the Zavat kick. Count of two was all he got on Willow the Wisp. Backs him into the turnbuckle. Here comes a reversal. Shannon up, caught, up, down, across, over. Look at this.
My broadcast colleague Michael St. John having a hard time following the action, as am I, and as are all the fans. And now Shannon Moore out on the ropes. Willow the Wisp gets a big chop to the chest for his efforts.
I got to tell you, Alan, very few matches leave me dumbfounded. I'm just watching the action and enjoying both of these athletes. Look at that! Holy cow with that flying head scissors. Willow the Wisp is down. Shannon Moore gets the cover. Count of two was all he got. As the Wisp puts the leg over the middle, or over the lower ropes, that caused the break in the count.
Well, that's right. Shannon Moore didn't see that Willow was so close to the ropes when he went for the pin. That's where the inexperience comes in. Shannon Moore, as a matter of fact, just graduated high school months ago. And he's already in the wrestling ring here on MCW on nationwide television, going up against Willow the Wisp.
Willow the Wisp goes for the count of two after that big slam. I tell you, that was just one of those power bombs that he whipped him down, and the whole building shook when Shannon Moore hit that canvas that time. Backed into the ropes, across the way, back body drop, up and over, and boy, Shannon Moore went 10 feet in the air before he came back down. Alan, I am impressed. I'm impressed by both of these young men, but I got to tell you, Shannon Moore, there's some kind of spark in this young man that I think will prove to be very much a passionate spark in the world of professional wrestling. This is the kind of young talent you really like to see in the ring, actually, from both of these wrestlers.
That's right. Shannon Moore, he's got youth, he's got fire, he's got the moves, he's got the speed, the quickness, and light heavyweight titles all over the country are no longer safe now that Shannon Moore is in the game.
I got you, and I'll tell you, he's also got some stamina. Willow the Wisp setting him up. Looks like he's going for a full suplex. Picks him up. Whoa.
Drops him face first. Willow the Wisp going to follow it up with a cover. Doesn't hook the leg.
Count of two, and Alan, you're correct there. Had he hooked the leg, I think he may have had a pinfall that time on Shannon Moore. You know, as I'm watching this and I'm thinking, and like I said, and you're right, I've been dumbfounded a little bit at the maneuvers and the moves that these men are putting on each other, and to be so young and doing this. But I'm reminded not only of some of the styles I've seen abroad in Japan, but also of lucha libre out of Mexico.
That's right. The new breed of professional wrestlers are utilizing styles from across the world in their wrestling repertoire, and it's made for a lot of exciting matches here in the United States. You know, the last match we saw was Shane Eden. Shane Eden, considered one of the top lighter weight wrestlers here in MCW. Also, I would put Chris Michaels into that category as well, and I would love to see either Shannon Moore or Willow the Wisp against either of those two men.
Well, you know, the other thing about, you were talking about youth, and youth is serving these two well. Count of two again. Willow the Wisp going for the cover. The youth is serving these two well because a lot of the more veteran athletes, to the pace of this match, would have probably been counted out, or this match would have been over a long time ago.
That's right, and also unfamiliarity with the lucha libre style or the Japanese style that leaves so many moves in the arsenal of the younger wrestlers.
Oh, he caught the chin right on the apron. Shannon is in some trouble now. And now, no, he came right back and reversed it on Willow the Wisp. And Shannon Moore coming across, up and over on the side of the apron. Whoa, look at this, right in front of the crowd across the way. And down goes Willow the Wisp, and a little somersault in a back And a back somersault, and down he went, and both men are down, Alan.
A moonsault off the second rope from the ring to the apron. And if you notice, Willow the Wisp was the first one in, and he was the one who got hit with the move. That's why they call him high risk.
Downstairs on Shannon Moore, a shortcut that time by Willow the Wisp. It's been a pretty clean match up until now. Quick pace, but very clean. Look at this. Shannon going, grabs him, and down he goes. Bulldogged into the ring. 1, 2, will he get him? No, count of 2 was all he got.
I thought he had him there, but again, he didn't hook the leg, and that's where the youth becomes a negative for these young up-and-comers.
Moonsault off the top rope, and that time nobody home. Shannon Moore down. Count of 1, count of 2, and Shannon puts that shoulder up. Count of 2 again. Again the shoulder coming up. Now, Willow the Wisp trying to loop him down. Up on the shoulders. What do we got here? Down off the back wall. Look at that reverse. 1, 2, 3. An instant sunset flip. Both men worse for wear in the ring, but what a match you just saw here on MCW Wrestling. And Shannon Moore gets his initial victory here on the program today.
Well, wrestling fans, we got 7 big matches